I've been eating paleo-ish for about 6 years. I love it because it helps me cut my carbs and kind of regulate the way that I feel and look in my skinny jeans. But it's hard sometimes because it means that I usually have to miss out on some of the more decadent, yummy treats, AKA chocolate cake. When I was pregnant, I used to say that the only thing that I ever wanted to eat was a chocolate cake, and somehow that craving has stayed with me for life. So I figured today, why not bring everything that I want to eat in my entire life together in one bowl? Today I'm going to show you how to make the best paleo chocolate cake. It's one bowl. It takes about 15 minutes to whip up, and you guys, I'm telling you, life-changing. Prepare yourself. It's time to cook with Bob's Red Mill.
Get out, get away.
I am not a trained chef, but I am a full-time foodie photographer to be exact. I've created a 6-figure career from my kitchen table. Come on into my studio where we'll cook not just good food, but gorgeous food. I'm Brooke Lark, and this is how to cook like a food stylist. Okay, there are a lot of ways to make paleo chocolate cake. You use eggs, you use that chocolate cocoa powder, but today we're gonna kind of hack the process and really make this cake taste like an actual real life cake that's made with flour, because we're gonna use Bob's Red Mill paleo flour. Now, I love this stuff because it has all of the paleo stuff that I really wanna eat. Gluten-free flour is nice, but a lot of times it has rice flour and some of those like extra flours that I have typically considered a little bit of a junk flour for my diet. And so check this out. Almond flour, arrowroot, coconut flour, tapioca flour, that is it. This can be used one for one in just about every single recipe that you want to make. But today I'm going to show you how to pop this into the cake of your lifetime, the chocolate cake of your lifetime, the cake you will want to eat for dinner. And you know what? It's the cake you can't eat for dinner because it's paleo. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start with 1 cup of Bob's Red Mill paleo flour. Okay, the texture here is so gorgeous. It's just so soft. It makes me so happy. And it smells just a little bit like almond flour, which is awesome because we're gonna get that just like subtle hint of almond flavor in this recipe. Next up, cocoa powder, baking powder. This is gonna give us some nice lift and rise in our recipe. A sprinkling of sea salt. Okay, now we're gonna add in the wet ingredients. This is what I love about one bowl baking, is that with a traditional cake or cookies, you wanna cream together the sugar. You don't need to do that here. We are just literally pouring everything into the bowl. Next up, maple syrup, applesauce, and 6 eggs. Just crack those babies right in there. And vanilla, like so much vanilla. If a recipe calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, I will absolutely use 2 tablespoons. You can't use too much vanilla. And so now we're just gonna mix this together. It's super easy. I remember once in college, a friend came over and brought a cake, and it was this beautiful cake, and I was like, how did you do that? How did you get it to release from the pan? And she said, well, I just greased it and floured it. And I was like, well, I've done that before, and parts of the cake will still like stick. What did you do to like really make it work? And I said, did you use a lot? And she was like, no, I don't think so. So I asked her to show me how she did it. And sure enough, she used way more grease and flour than I would have ever guessed, creating like a complete coating on her pan. So we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do it paleo style. I'm gonna use some olive oil spray. And I really wanna coat the pan. If you have any issues with your cake sticking to your pan, it probably is because you are not coating it enough with your oil. And then instead of flour, we can use our Bob's Red Mill flour or a little bit of cocoa powder, because that cocoa powder is going to cook brown. And so you're not gonna get any of that floury look on the outside of your cake. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this over the sink so that my entire pan is coated. Then we're gonna throw our batter in there. And we are just putting this in a single 9-inch cake pan. It's a nice thick cake. All of those eggs is gonna make this really dense and super moist with all of that coconut oil. And so it's just a single layer. If you wanna really ratchet it up, you can always double the recipe and make 2 layers. But I find that a single slice of this cake as a single layer is just about everything that your little soul could ever hope for. Time to bake. Okay, while that baby bakes, it is time to make the frosting. Now, paleo frosting can be a little bit tricky because a good paleo girl does not use sugar, right? So we're actually going to use some paleo chocolate chips, which are pure cocoa. Throw those into a bowl with some coconut oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and melt this together in the microwave. Whenever you're heating chocolate up in the microwave, 30-second zaps, that's it. I don't want you to like stick it in for like 100 minutes. It gets all clumpy, or that chocolate will get burned or super hot, and then it will cool with a little bit of extra like mottling. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is just 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, and as soon as it's smooth, no more zapping. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and then meet me at the mixer. Okay, chocolate smooth. We're gonna pour that into a stand mixer. You can also use a hand mixer, but this is gonna require a nice hefty bit of whipping, so it's really nice to have something automated. And then I am going to take the coconut cream, which is that really thick, beautiful part from coconut milk, and add that to my mixer. And then baby, it is time to whip and whip and whip until this gets light and fluffy. And it's a little bit of a waiting game. And what I find is that a nice little whip and then stick it in the fridge or the freezer for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then another whip sometimes really helps it just like seal the deal and make a gorgeous, smooth, billowy frosting. Okay, cake out of the oven. I've let it cool until it's like completely cool. I usually speed this process up by throwing it into the freezer. You don't have to do that, but if you're a little bit impatient like I am, that's a perfectly good solution. I'm gonna run a knife around the edge, and then we're actually gonna turn this right out, not onto our cooling rack, but because I've actually just let it cool in the pan, but directly onto our cake platter. And this is going to be part of our decoration where we are going to put together this absolutely gorgeous chocolate cake. Surprisingly simple, but oh, you guys, the pictures are going to be gorgeous. All right, frosting is finished. The last thing that we need to prep are all of our garnishes. You know that my favorite part is the food styling part, so of course we're gonna take a few quick seconds to make all of our food styling prep stuff ready to rock. So I have a room temperature dark chocolate bar, and I'm just gonna use a vegetable peeler to make some really beautiful curly hues here. And this actually works the best when your chocolate is relatively soft. Like you want it almost melting in your hands. And you're just gonna rub right along the edge there and make yourself some curly hues. And I have found that the faster I go, the better I make curly hues. It's a little bit of a mess, but it's worth it, you guys. It is worth it. For this cake, what I want to do is top it with our little chocolate curly hues on top of the frosting. And then I have some really coarsely shredded sea salt. And then I'm also gonna play around today with styling with some little chamomile flowers. Now these are typically available at some grocery stores. They usually carry them in the florist department. I love them because they're edible, they're cute and tiny, and I don't know if our final shot is going to include them because they are a little bit casual and playful. So I'm interested to kind of play with the kind of warm depth of the chocolate and see if we can make it work. But flowers on top of cake, you guys, it's a natural, so we're gonna try it and see. All right, so cake is cooling. It's about time to rock this show, and it's about time to start styling. All right, are we ready? Chocolate cake, chocolate. Okay, first thing I notice is this cake is so soft. I would say moist, but I know some of you don't like that word. Okay, and then this frosting is like so gooey and it's like ganache. Oh, it's like a chocolate pillow in your mouth. Are you kidding me right now? Okay. Oh, the chocolate shavings, when they go into your face, get like a little soft. And then the like gooiness of that ganache frosting, and then the soft texture of the chocolate cake. And the salt on top? Are you kidding me? Okay, the salt on top, it's about to, you know, basically rule your life and your world forever. You will want to marry salt. Whether you are a paleo cave human or just eating gluten-free, or you just want to eat the best one bowl chocolate cake that you've ever made without sugar, you guys, this recipe is it. You can't make it without this amazing paleo flour. So head to your nearest grocery store and pick some up. You're gonna want this in the pantry anyway, because why use flour when you can use Bob's Red Mill paleo flour? That's it for this time. Stay tuned because I have so many recipes coming up. Will you guys hit the subscribe button? Like, we have so much fun here, plus we make pretty food. So hit that subscribe button, stay tuned. I'm not just gonna show you how to cook, I'm gonna show you how to cook beautifully and then food style, because you know what? I'm a food stylist and you can be too. Happy cooking and happy chocolate cake. Applesauce. Okay, let's try that again. Then you're gonna need some applesauce. Okay.
It's like watching Matilda.
Okay.